sleeves, show his scars, say these wounds. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgotten. For he today who sheds his blood with me shall be my brother. Got a question for you. Who's got it better than us? Nobody! Each other.
Welcome to the Big House, CFB Nation. How are you? I'm Andy. We're back again with another episode, so let's get right into it. We got some more coaching changes. Now, these should be the last ones. Mike Hart won't return. Now, he took a leave of absence in January. There were talks about if he would come back, if he wouldn't. His contract ran out, and he decided to not come back. Now, there were rumors that he wanted to be the head coach, and when he got bypassed, he was a little upset with that. So we'll have to see what happens next. He might end up with the Charger staff. He might take a year off. He does have some ties with Syracuse, and he does have some ties with Indiana. So we'll have to see where he goes next. But the guy that they bring in to replace Mike Hart, he's going to need to be a recruiter. Mike Hart brought in Jordan Marshall, yes, but he didn't bring anyone else in during his entire duration being a coach there. So they are needing a key recruiter. Wink Martindale, he's also not a recruiter. Michigan's going to need someone who's young, who's fiery, who can go into these recruit homes and get them to Ann Arbor. Now we have Kevin Wilkins. He is a defensive analyst now for Michigan. He was in 2023 the New York Giants defensive assistant. So he'll help with terminology and get the players up to speed with the playbook and everything going on. Now, Greg Scruggs, he was named the defensive ends coach. Now, he was a very athletic defensive end in the NFL. He started his career with the Seattle Seahawks. As a coach, he most recently was a defensive ends coach at Wisconsin, and he does have some ties to the coaching staff, so he will be brought along. Brian Jean Mary is the linebackers coach and the defensive run game coordinator. And he comes back to Michigan as well. He was on staff as the linebackers coach in 2020. Most recently, he was with the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, let's get right into the heart of the subject, the quarterback camp watch. We have Alex Orji versus Jack Tuttle versus Jaden Denigale. Now, what does Alex Orji bring? Now, Michigan is lacking proven production and playmakers. They are bringing in a whole new crew at receivers, a whole new offensive lineman. The running backs, Donovan Edwards, going to have to take that next step up. So he's someone that should be the guy to create on his own. Now, while he hasn't been the most accurate passer during his time in high school and so far at Michigan, the coaching staff can scheme him up. Short area targets, target Colson Loveland, target Samaj Morgan, target Tyler Morris this year on deep passes. With Donovan Edwards possibly being moved around as a chess piece, you can have Orji at quarterback, and that can cause some chaos for defenses. Get Edwards in the backfield or line him up in the slot, move Samaj Morgan pre-snap, get some dressing up done before, get the defenses confused, and do a simple quick out to Colson Loveland, move the chains. That'll also help Orji settle down, and they can also run the ball. Now, with Orji, he was the scout team quarterback for the Rose Bowl. He played that Jalen Milroe type, and it's kind of fitting. The two players are very similar. They're very good runners. They lack the passing nuance that they need at the next level, and they need more reps as a passer. Now, we saw this past season when Jalen Milroe got benched and he came back from that. They simplified the offense, and it worked for them. They gave Milroe two reads, and then if it wasn't open, run. And that's what Michigan should do with Alex Orji. Simplify that offense, give him an A and a B read. If neither are open, take off and run. Move the chains. Now, I want to see Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullins on the field together with Orji as the quarterback. And then you have Samaj Morgan. You get all those players around, you motion a couple of them here and there, dress up that offense a little bit, cause some chaos, and you have the defense looking one way, you scheme up the other way. So that's the way that you can get Alex Orji some early success and possibly improve as a passer down the road. Easy target, Colson Loveland. He's going to be the tight end one next year. All you gotta do is just get some targets. Now, if they bring Jack Tuttle in, it's going to be one of those break in case of emergency type of a deal, or if Orgy gets hurt. Because if Orgy isn't the guy at the passer, I don't think they want to put Jaden Davis in as a true freshman. I do want to think that they want to give him a redshirt year. Now, with Jack Tuttle, what are we getting? He was a 4-star in the composites in the 2018 class, initially committed to Utah. Now, he left Utah after his freshman season because he was third on that depth chart. He went to Indiana and he spent 2019 to 2022 at Indiana. He appeared in 18 games over that span. He transferred to Michigan in 2023. He was granted a 7th year this past season. And now the scouting report on Tuttle is this. He's a pocket passer. He's inconsistent, and his accuracy is, at least something to be desired with. The past 2 seasons, during mop-up duty, he did improve on that, but was it a product of garbage time or maturity? Now, with him being in his 7th year in college, he knows the routine. He knows everything. He's been around the block. So he should be a calming influence in the room. And at worst case, he's someone that just feels like he's going to be a grad assistant once his career is over. Now, he's been through it all. He came in as a high speed for Huntley from the chart. Kind of took a blow to his ego, went to Indiana. He had to stick it out there. You got to remember, before that, you couldn't transfer multiple times like you can now. So he had to stick it out at Indiana and figure things out. So he had to grow and he had to mature with all the decisions that he made. Now, why should Tuttle start? His experience. He's a coach on the field. He's got that revamped line throughout with the offensive line, the wide receivers. Everyone's going to be young. Everyone's going to have some, jitters early. He's going to be someone that can read defenses, and he's been around light bullets. He's been around the afternoons. He's played multiple games. He knows how to prepare for the game. Now, I agree. Tuttle, he's the floor option. He gives you a safe floor, but if you start Tuttle, here's where it can get interesting. You can bring Orgy in packages as an RPO wildcat type of quarterback to bring in some spark to the team and a change of pace. That way, you kind of trick defenses in how to prepare. Are they going to use Orgy on a lot of plays this week, or are they going to simplify, maybe only do one package here or there? So it gives defenses more things to think about. And also by doing that, if you do start Tuttle, it gives Orgy and Davis additional time before one of them takes over in 2025, which will be more than likely be Jaden Davis. Now, the third quarterback in the room, he's the dark horse, and that's Jaden Denegal. Now, who is Jaden Denegal? He's a 3-star in the composites, and he's part of the 2022 class from California. He's from Apple Valley. Now, he had 9 offers going to Arkansas, Auburn, Michigan State, and Oregon State being the high-profile ones. Now, he's more of that pocket passer. He can move around the pocket and extend some plays. He's a quick decision maker. Now, that is a good thing. The one thing that he does need to improve on, what he has a steep learning curve on, is a lot of his throws in high school, when you watch them, he does roll out, and he doesn't want to stay in the pocket. He doesn't want to have anyone in front of him. He wants everything to be clear. He wants to see everything downfield. So having an offensive line in front of him, having, arms and hands in his face, that's going to take some time. Now, what I do like about him is, he's able to make off-platform throws. He doesn't need to set his feet, has very good arm. He's able to layer his throws, and he has appeared in 6 games this past season, all in mop-up duty. So he at least got his feet wet. Now, with that learning curve, with him being exclusively in shotgun and with him moving around the pocket and trying to get a clear pocket, there's going to be some growing pains. He's going to look good in spring. He's going to make some plays, but that's a real steep learning curve. And he rarely ever climbed the pocket, and he's more comfortable with no one in front of him. Now, here's the thing. What does it mean if he wins the job? If Denegal starts, that means Tuttle is simply viewed as a depth piece. He's that emergency guy, and then Orgy simply just isn't a good passer. And we've seen his stats in high school. He completed about 52% of his passes in high school. And in the spring game, I believe he completed I think it was 4 out of 10 passes. So he does need to improve as a passer. Now, I'm not saying Denegal isn't good, but he needs to take huge strides. And this spring, to be in contention as a starter, I just can't see it. Now, we've seen other schools, they'll hype up a guy. They'll hype them up. They'll say it's an open competition. They won't name any of the guys. They'll split the reps. And that's simply so they don't transfer out. And that's what I see with Denegal. He has the potential, but he isn't ready yet. And they don't want him to hit the portal. So you bait him, you give him reps, you talk him up. You kind of, leak some things out to the media. The coach say, oh, he's doing really great in the spring. He might be the guy. You just talk him up and you do what, you can say, a legit open quarterback competition. And then you prolong it so you don't lose the guy. And then finally in the fall, you name Alex Orji as the quarterback. And then you put Denegal, maybe the backup. I mean, it's not like Tuttle's going to transfer out. It's his 7th year. So I believe that's what's going to happen at the end of the day. You're going to have Alex Orji. He's going to be the starter. Denegal will probably be the 2 so that he doesn't transfer out. Jack Tuttle will be the 3, and Jaden Davis will purely redshirt this year. He's going to sit back and learn. If you watch his tape, he's a little raw. So he definitely needs a year of improvement. And then in 2025, I would say it will be his job to lose. Now, we reached a point of our profile segment. The first profile that I want to talk about is an edge rusher, Lugard Edupaye. I don't know his last name. I'm pretty sure I mispronounced it. He's 6'6", 215 pounds, 4-star in the composites, rated as high as edge number 6 and as low as edge number 35. Now, he averages out to be edge number 14 in the composites. Now, he was a two-way player in high school. He had 7 receptions for 120 yards, had 22 tackles in 6 games, 5 sacks, 4 hurries. Now, I don't expect him to be much of anything as a true freshman. I think if anything, he might play a little bit in mop-up duty when there's a blowout. They got some easy games early on. They got Fresno State, Arkansas State, a couple of real pancakes. So he might see some action there, but he's a raw athletic freak. Now, he needs to add about 20 pounds just to see the rotation. And at 6'6", he has the frame to add on well over 40 pounds when it's all said and done. Now, Michigan, they're known for developing guys in their strength and conditioning program. And this guy is someone to watch for 2025. Once he adds on the muscle, adds on the weight, gets into the strength and conditioning program, and he very well could be the next edge rusher in the program that gets first-round NFL draft capital. Now, the next man up, a profile of the day is offensive lineman Josh Preby. He's 6'5", 280 pounds, transfers in from Northwestern. Now, he was a 3-star recruit, and every year Michigan brings in one of these offensive linemen in the portal, and they become a leader, and they play their best football of their career, and then they move on to the NFL. Preby is that guy. Michigan will have a lot of turnover on that line, and he can be the guy to kind of lead that offensive line and kind of, make them gel together, become a cohesive unit. Now, he's been a full-time starter for the past 2 seasons, and he brings experience to that revamped line. I expect him to make a huge jump from his days at Northwestern. He was good at Northwestern. He has a chance to be great at Michigan. Now, the returning player profile today is wide receiver Tyler Morris. He's 5'11", 185 pounds. He was a 4-star in the composites, part of the 2022 class. Now, In 2023, he had 13 receptions for 197 yards and a touchdown. He had that key touchdown in the Rose Bowl against Alabama on that crossing route up the sidelines for a touchdown. That was the play that really got Michigan that momentum that really helped them in the long run. Now, he has a clear pathway to be one of the boundary receivers. There's no one there. He has shown flashes in the limited time that he's been there. I think this year he can earn some good targets. He's going to be someone that you're going to target intermediate to deep routes. You're going to have Samaj Morgan that they're going to kind of scheme up kind of short area touches, manufactured touches. You have Colson Loveland, who's going to be the blanket, who's going to play that short to intermediate area. And then you have Tyler Morris, who's going to be that deep bomb guy. So if we all know Alex Orji has the arm, we just don't know if he's going to be Joe Milton or if he's going to be someone who's actually going to be worth starting at the next level. Because we've seen his arm. His arm is good. We just need just that accuracy, just that touch. So right now, Alex Orji, he might be Joe Milton. He might be something better. We'll just have to see. But if he can put something together, Tyler Morris can have a big season for Michigan. Now, throwback player of the day, cornerback Ty Law. Now, he started 30 games at Michigan in his 3 years. He had 161 tackles, 19 pass breakups, 8 interceptions, a forced fumble. He was a 2-time All-Big Ten, an All-American selection, and he won the Rose Bowl. Now, Law left after his junior year because there were some financial issues with his family that caused him to leave, and he decided to enter in the NFL draft. Now, he was the 23rd pick in the 1995 NFL draft selected by the New England Patriots. Now, he played 15 years in the NFL, played for 4 teams, won 3 Super Bowls, a 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, played 203 games in the NFL with 839 tackles, 5 sacks, 53 interceptions, and 7 forced fumbles. He was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame in 2019, and he is a Michigan icon. Now, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to the Big House. A special thank you to Dwight Peebles for the intro, Nino Brown for producing me, and the CFB Nation family. Until next week, who's got it better than the CFB Nation?
Got a question for you. Who's got it better than us? No!